Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next edition of AmiSights. I'm Ami Kassar, your host. My co-host Lynn Ozer, aka SBA Queen, cannot be with us today, but I'm super excited to have our new banking partner with us from Owners Bank that you're going to be hearing a lot about from us over the next few months. And this is our debut podcast with them. And thrilled to have Erik Nilsen with us. Erik is the SVP of Strategic Digital Partnerships. I think I got that right, with Owners Bank. And Owners Bank is quite a story and really a neat platform for entrepreneurs and for our community. And so without further ado, Erik, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ami. Excited to be here.
Erik, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background before we dig into Owners Bank.
Sure. So I have a little bit of an interesting bank and fintech background. I actually cut my teeth early on at John Hancock as an NASD licensed financial rep, and kind of transitioned out of that business at an early age with a friend that was in credit card and underwriting. And so he lured me over to the bank side, where I spent the next few years in credit card, fraud, and home equity lines and loans underwriting. And then while there, I had the chance to move into small business and the business banking side at Fleet Bank. And between Fleet Bank and Webster Bank, I spent about 15 years in small business specific product management, specifically on the deposit side and digital banking. So I've launched digital platforms. I was one of the first folks to work with business banking bill pay going back 20 years ago. And then, quickly after the banking side, moved into a fintech role at Fiserv, and spent 10 years there in core platforms and biometrics and leading product management teams, both for consumer and small business. And quickly, after a short stint at a great payment company called Bottom Line Technologies, ended up back working with the founder and CEO of Owners Bank, Dave Mitchell, and have now been at Owners Bank for a year, leading their credit team and their strategic digital partnerships.
So it's about this Owners Bank thing. Why was it started?
Yeah, no, great question. What's interesting about Owners Bank is there's been a gap in this industry. Bankers know this for quite some time. Businesses are either forced into a consumer part of the platform at most banks or into the commercial platform. And when they're forced into a consumer platform, the functionality that most businesses need, it's lacking. And so they have to make do with things. And then if they're forced into the commercial side, well, it's too complex. They need dual approvals and multiple authorities and tiered levels of access. And they have all these different things they pay for that they never use. So our founder, Dave Mitchell, and a large group of digitally focused, transformation-minded bankers came up with Owners Bank to really fit square in the middle of that paradox. And Owners Bank was born about 3 years ago and has been, rolling ever since.
So when did it launch? And it's part of a bigger bank with Liberty Bank. So how did all that happen? And when did Owners Bank launch?
Yeah, so launched about the work started a little over 3 years ago. And, we've been actively in the market now for a year and a half, but there's a lot of pre-work, right, to get to that point when you launch a digital-only bank. We have no branches and we have no salespeople. And so what we do is we go into markets and work with partners now like MultiFunding and other commercial brokers, centers of influences, digital marketplaces, to really push the Owners Bank brand. And we've been having some great success in the last year and a half and are super excited about what the future holds. It's clear from the feedback from the customers we're working with that finally the attention on being a small business focused bank created by business owners for business owners was sorely needed. And we're super happy to fill in and take that spot.
So maybe for the benefit of the audience, I can give you some of my perspective on it, because we've been looking for a bank to partner up with for a couple of years, and it's been a real struggle. And so there are out there in the marketplace, friends, a bunch of like pretty cool tech platforms that can handle all your banking for you. Okay. But there's one fundamental thing lacking, is that they don't offer a line of credit. Okay. And a line of credit is, in our opinion, like it's part of it, they should be part of the furniture of a business, and certainly like an insurance policy for a business. I don't care if you never touch it, you should have it. And so the thing that's missing from these pretty cool digital platforms out there on the web, and there are a bunch of them, is they have no line of credit offer. So your line of credit should be what your primary bank is. So we've been trying to find a bank that will offer our clients lines of credit and great technology. And that's what Owners Bank has. So they're not just the tech and the platform, they also have the lines, and the lines are, it's kind of interconnected. A good bank isn't just there for banking and tech, it's also there for credit. And Owners Bank is merging both entrepreneurs. Does that make sense to you, Erik?
Yeah, I think that's really well said. That's part of our mission, is to take the depository side of the business, the lending side of the business, predicated on that line of credit and access to working capital. And then we try to bring it into a really sound, simple, easy to use digital experience. So when you want to make draws on that line of credit, how do you do it? How easy is it? You want to, use other business banking tools right at your fingertips. We're going to continue to add to and make that experience better and better. So we're not just a bank. We like to think of ourselves as high tech and high touch, but solving real business banking problems.
I encourage all the listeners out there to think about, like, when's the last time you went to your branch? Really, we're in the process of changing all of our banking over to Owners Bank as part of our partnership, and proud to be a proud card-carrying member of Owners Bank, and super excited about it. But here's our story for everyone, for what it's worth. For years, when we started, we used Wells Fargo, and then I kind of philosophically didn't like working at a big bank, because I thought I was just like a nobody, but I never took the time to make the change. And then one day they lost one of my wires, and I counted on my cell phone, I think I was on the phone with them for 8 hours until they freaking found my money. Okay. And I was like, I'm done. Okay. So then we went, and there's no us, we partner up with a lot of banks. So we went to one of our banks where we know pretty well, and we knew pretty well in Sacramento. I'm like, I don't need the Wells Fargo branch near me anymore. And that bank did pretty well until it dawned upon me, when interest rates started going up, they weren't paying us anything for our money sitting in their account. Okay. And suddenly, the last couple of months, these sneaky little $40, $50, $60 monthly account analysis charges pop up on my account for no reason. And that's a bunch of baloney. So tell us how Owners Bank would think about stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say that in a perfect world, right, I'm going to be quite honest, right, those types of things unfortunately happen. We haven't had it happen yet on our side. But our goal is around simplicity, right? Ease of use, and we have a fully transparent platform. So this concept of missing money or moving money and stuff like that, that's either going to be driven by you, for you, and you'd be able to see where that is. We have real people that will pick up the phone, that you call, and you're not going to go through an extensive call tree all over the country, all over different time zones. We predicate ourselves on that high tech, high touch, as well as we use technology that you can FaceTime us during an account application process, Ami, where whether it's a loan or a deposit account, if you have questions, you're going to get a real person. So my point is, we don't hide behind screens and buttons. We try to be really upfront and really focus on the experience so that you leave being overwhelmed, not underwhelmed, if that makes sense.
It's so easy out there to quote unquote build up quote unquote brand around small businesses and say you're a big fan of a small business, but it like drives me nuts. Like Intuit as an example. Okay, they have I don't know how many billions or trillions their market cap is. Why do they need to, at the same time, put their customers into predatory loans so that you can hit one switch of a button? That's like totally contrary to the point of the brand. I even read an article yesterday that Walmart is now getting in the merchant cash advance business. So many people say they're friends with small businesses, but one of the things I love about Owners Bank, which is tied to Liberty Bank, and I'd love for you to explain to us the Liberty Bank connection, is that they mean it. You guys mean it. You guys are building a brand around being true to small businesses. Why are small businesses so important to you?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Let me start with the Liberty Bank, because we wouldn't be here without them. They're a tremendous guidepost for us. So Owners Bank is a division of Liberty Bank, an $8+ billion large New England bank that's been around for almost 200 years. It is one of the most stable banks in the country, and they've provided us an arm as well as capital to lend on behalf of this small business focus and mission that we're on. So their leadership, along with the Owners Bank leadership, we work very, very collaboratively, hand in hand. Essentially, we're in states that Liberty Bank isn't. So part of the Owners Bank growth model is to add to where Liberty Bank already has strong presence, and then expand upon areas where they don't have presence as we work down the entire Eastern Seaboard, as an example. Small businesses are so important. Whether you look at the number, right, 30 million, 33 million small businesses of various sizes, whether you're a DBA, sole prop, an SMB, however you want to fit or you get fit into a tranche, if you will, we aim to serve that market, we think, in a very different way. We're coming up with bank-specific, purposeful products that are simple, easy to digest, easy to understand. Like, for example, we have a business credit card, Ami. It's probably got one of the best credit card rates in the industry for a business customer right now. We do that because we know if you can't get that line of credit, the first step, right, in the crawl, walk, run is sometimes getting access to capital that you could use to bridge a certain loan application, or the time period within which you need to get your docs ready, or transaction, your commercial transactions being reported. We know that is real, and we want to be there, and we want to be that bank that sees that and delivers on that. Being a division of Liberty, also we're fully regulated, right? We're FDIC insured, so we've got that peace of mind that also goes with the innovation mindset. So people can rest assured when they keep their money with us and they grow with us as a business, we're lockstep in that protection mode when we need it.
I want to talk about that for a minute because I think it's important. One of the things I preach a lot to our listeners and our audience is that you need to make sure you're with a stable bank, and I often encourage people to go check out Bauer Financial for the report of your bank. Now, for owners, you go check out Liberty Bank, and Liberty Bank has 5 stars. Okay, and you really want to be super important and have your money parked at a stable organization and have your lines and your debt at a stable organization. If your bank closes or gets shut down by the FDIC, it's a pain in the rear end. Okay. And so one of the beauties and one of the things that's super appealing to me about Liberty Bank is that They're like kind of like the innovation digital arm of this old line, established, serious conservative bank. That's super, super important. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it does. Like I said, we're really fortunate to have such great collaboration with Liberty and owners. We do try to push the boundaries. Look, we're out there to disrupt this business, this banking business that's been around forever, and we're trying to do it through technology, through high tech, high touch, as I said, new innovative products that people can just understand and use. For example, a quick aside, we've got a way for all business owners, whether you're a roofer, painter, contractor, professional, healthcare. One of the things that happens in a business, right, is you provide services. You render services and you want to be compensated for those services. How many times have we heard from businesses that getting paid is one of the hardest things they do and have to go through each month? Not that they're running their own collection businesses, but sending notices, doing mailers, pay me for this. I came out last month, you owe me, X, Y, and Z. I fixed this. Well, now within Owners Bank, you can simply send an electronic invoice via email or text, and people can pay you immediately. You want to talk about speeding up your receivables? Some banks do offer that. Not a lot do for the small business side. So we're providing those tools so they get paid faster. And that's one of the big things to spur up cash flow, which is always a hot topic for businesses, is how to better manage cash flow. Well, the first thing I'll tell you, Ami, is you got to get paid faster. You got to have the cash to then manage it, right?
100%. Where are you guys open for business?
Yeah. So right now, as we continue to build out not only the brand, but the product set, we are in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and Texas. And we're going to be adding 3 more states at the beginning of the year, where we're going to be looking to go to Virginia, New York, New Jersey. Our whole plan is to own the East Coast when it comes to the
Is
small
Vermont
business.
on the list, or did I imagine? Is Vermont on the list, or did I imagine that?
It's one that we're considering. It's
Oh,
one.
okay. I thought it was already there, but no big
Nope,
deal.
nope, no. It's definitely one that we're considering. One of the things being part of a mutual bank is, Liberty Bank doesn't have a national charter. So we're in the process of going through that to kind of grow into all 50 states. We're selectively picking out states that have great businesses, large businesses to go into first, that we think make sense. One, for our products, and 2, for our brand. You'd asked a really interesting question early on, Ami, about like how we started. When you think about businesses that are time starved, right? That's a really true statement. When you look at the trades businesses and you look at some of the professional businesses that could never get to a bank branch, but are seeing clients, are on the road, are providing service, or doing real work during the day, whether it's at the corporate level, or residential and consumer work, we've noticed that so many of those businesses in our research were so unhappy with their bank. They couldn't get anybody to talk to them because it was off hours. The people they were getting didn't know anything about a working capital line of credit or what their business really needed. And so back to yet another reason why the Owners Bank brand was born is we feel, and we're seeing day in and day out now, that by serving and solving those types of problems for small businesses, that it is making a difference. We actually get thank you notes. We get emails from customers saying, this was a great experience. You approved me and funded my loan within a day or 2. It would be 30 to 45 days at some of the largest banks. And not saying that's, picking on all the big banks, but that's something that we can do at Owners, right? We can make a decision really quick. We can turn around and tell you that we approve you or decline you, unfortunately, but for all the right reasons, and tell you to come back in 90 days. if something changes in your business, we'll take a look at you again. We really want to act fast, deliver fast, and get that money into the hands of the business so they can go spend it to grow their business. And we're seeing that day in and day out actually working.
I think it's important for folks out there to understand, and Erik, I'll just recite this and then you can tell me what I got wrong. There are really four core parts today of the owner's back platform, and maybe if you want to, you can dig into each. One is just great general banking, like a banking platform and different accounts that offer different payment, like you can earn money on your savings and stuff like that. The other is lines of credit, okay? And lines of credit are super important. Term debt, terms up to 5 years, okay? And a business credit card. So when you go to the owner's bank site, you'll see all of those elements today. In the 10, is it 10 or 11 states?
It's 9 right now. It'll be 12 as we head into next year.
Got it. Okay, in 9 states, perfect. Okay, so so businesses, and one of the things we spend a lot of time educating people on, and we can dig into it, or I can share articles. Anyone who wants to, when you need to use term debt, when you need to use a line of credit, and you can apply for both as well. So, and the beauty of it is the speed of execution. And what did I miss, Erik?
No, I think you said it really well. You know, banking often is thought of as a commodity, right? And what we want to do is disrupt that thinking and allow entrepreneurs and business owners to really see behind the veil and make banking, you know, easier to understand, debunk some of the myths. You know, one of the things we've tried to do is keep a very simplified product set. It's a powerful product set. So don't mistake simple with not robust and powerful. So just like you said, Ami, we've got 3 main credit products. We've got 3 main deposit products. And when you bring that together in a digital experience with all the digital tools we offer, it's really easy to understand and get going and start to use these things. And, you know, that's how we want to be different. That's how we are different. You won't have to read through 50 pages on our website to figure out what product is right for you. You won't have to ask all these questionnaires and say, you know, is this the right fit or not? You can pick up the phone and we can help guide you, or you can just see from that product set, this is the right thing for me at this time and this juncture of where my business life cycle is. And that's where we can try to act on that fast. To your point, we can execute and do things quicker than some of the larger banks can, for sure.
So I want to share with the listeners some of our story at MultiFunding of trying to find a banking partner to do this with, because I think it's sort of sad and funny at the same time, and it tells about the power of owner's bank. And we've been working for a couple of years to find a banking partner to roll out deposits and banking services and lines of credit with. Okay. And we've spent the greater part of a year with 2 different banks trying to get it done, pulling our hair out, going through different layers of bureaucracy and decision making and criteria and this and credit and underwriting and product development and governance and audit and until, like, you see some gray hair here. They gave me a little bit about it. I think it was 4 to 6 weeks ago where in one of my insomniac nights, I was cruising around LinkedIn a little bit, which gets a little overwhelming for me sometimes. And I saw an old buddy of mine that we used to work with 10, 12 years ago. His name was Mahinda Yapa. And he's actually had like this owner's bank shirt on. And he was, I think, announcing Erik or introducing Erik. And I'm like, who the hell is this owner's bank thing? Like, I never heard of it before. Okay. And within a week, we were up there managing with their team, a week or 10 days, something like that. Record speed and record time. And most bankers, friends, have the imagination of an ant. Okay. And these guys, they do. It's just we deal with it all the time, and that's the beauty and the power of Owners Bank, and why we're so excited about this partnership is they don't. And what I'm excited about it also, our cultures are starting to gel as we work together. So as we start to introduce lending relationships and these different banking services to our clients, they'll be able to count on the same connectivity and trust that they've built with MultiFunding into the Owners Bank team as well. So super excited for all this.
Yeah, and we are too. I mean, obviously, what you've built over the last, 14.
What should I ask you that I forgot? What do you see in the future that's not there yet?
Yeah, I see more simplification. I mean, I believe that, businesses are still going to be formed at some record pacing. They're always going to need capital. Our hope is that not everybody goes to alternative lenders because they thought it was easy. They thought they could get their money faster, and that was the only option for them. I mean, where I see the next 5 years is, instead of thinking that way, that they change a mindset and realize that Owners Bank and others, no doubt, will follow, are out there for the sole purpose and the betterment of businesses. And we're creating more of a destination than a bank. I see Owners Bank offering more and more business services in the coming years that add real value, where, yes, we are a bank, but people think of us differently because of the intrinsic value we bring day in and day out.
Love it. Folks, you're going to be hearing a lot more about Owners Bank from us in the next weeks and months. For those who will be at the Eccentric show in Dallas, come check us out.
Yeah.
For those who Owners Bank is not in their state yet, like hammer away at Owners Bank, tell them to hurry up and get there.
We're coming. We're coming.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Erik, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time.
No, thank you, Ami. I enjoyed it.